Shalom. We're back at home. And since we're back at home, the video should be a little bit more consistent. Wi-Fi in a tornado area is non-existent. And so videos have been spotty and scattered, and so we're about to get back into it and take a crack at it. I'm gonna get on my knees and pray outside a camera frame because it's a little bit tight on my coffee table and to my couch. Let's see if I can squeeze in here. Oh, okay. Oh, slightly. I don't think the knees have to be exactly parallel, do they? I'm squeezed in here, Father Yahweh. You know my heart. You know my intentions. And you are the light that leads me through this, and the reason why I do this. And I am so amazed at you and your ability to speak through me, and the works that you manifest through me, and the secrets to life that you give me, and allow me to share some of them with the people and show them why you, Yahuwah, are the creator of the universe, and no other texts hold a candle to you, and no other readings have your truth, and why your son, Yeshua HaMashiach, is the Savior and is the Messiah, and leads us back to you, and it's perfect. And I thank you for this opportunity, and I also ask you forgive me for my sins, that I may be clean in doing this for you. In Yeshua's name, amen. Alright, we're back at it. I always start this with a prayer because y'all should be praying on your knees every day. And I tell people, like, get on your knees and pray. And they're like, you don't have to get on your knees. And I'm like, I am witness that you get on your knees every time that you pray. And I've even had believers, like, I'll do it in church. You know what I mean? People, like, look at you like, what? Like, why is this guy on his knees? And it's like, you know, like, do you have to be? No. Like, if you're going to put a tourniquet on somebody, start praying on your way there, you know? But humble yourself. And we are in 1 Chronicles chapter 25 today. Late night reading. And by that I mean 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. We're going to Shabbat 7:20. So just water, no coffee today. Coffee tomorrow. Praise Yahuwah. I'm gonna get a shofar. Putting that on my list of deployment items. And we 1 Chronicles chapter 25. And Dawid and the commanders of the army separated for the service some of the sons of Asaph, and of Heman, and of Yeduthun, who should prophesy with lyres, with harps, and with cymbals. And the number of the workmen, according to their service, was of the sons of Asaph, Zakur, and Yosef, and Nethaniah, and Ashar Elah, the sons of Asaph, at the hands of Asaph, who prophesied at the hands of the sovereign. Of Yeduthun, the sons of Yeduthun, Gedaliahu, and Sari, and Yeshayahu, and Hashabyahu, and Matiyahu, 6, under the hands of their father Yeduthun, who prophesied with a lyre to give thanks and praise to Yahuwah. Of Haman, the sons of Haman, Bukiyahu, Matanyahu, Uziel, Shebuel, and Yeremoth, Hananiah, Hanani, Eliatha, Gidalti, and Romamti, Azer, Yoshbek Asha, Malothi, Hothir, Mahaziah, All these were the sons of Haman, the sovereign seer, in the words of Elohim, to exalt his horn. For Elohim gave Haman 14 sons and 3 daughters. All these were at the hands of their father for song in the house of Yahuwah, with cymbals, harps, and lyres, for the service of the house of Elohim. Asaph, Yeduthan, and Haman at the hands of the sovereign. And the number of them, with their brothers, who were taught in the songs of Yahuwah, all who were skilled, was 288. And they cast lots for their duty, the small as well as the great, the teacher with the student. And the first lot of Asaph came forth from Joseph, Gedaliah the second, he and his brothers and sons 12. The third, Zakur, his sons and his brothers 12. The fourth, Yitzri, his sons and his brothers 12. The fifth, Netanyahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The sixth, Bukiyahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The seventh, Yazar Elah, his sons and his brothers 12. The eighth, Yeshiyahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The ninth, Mattanyahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The 10th, Shemi, his sons and his brothers 12. The 11th, Azarel, his sons and his brothers 12. The 12th, Hashabiah, his sons and his brothers 12. The 13th, Shubael, his sons and his brothers 12. The 14th, Matayahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The 15th, Yeramoth, his sons and his brothers 12. The 16th, Hananyahu, his sons and his brothers 12. The 17th, Yoshbek Ashah, his sons and his brothers 12. The 18th, Hanani, his sons and his brothers 12. The 19th, Malothi, his sons and his brothers 12. The 20th, Eliathah, his sons and his brothers 12. The 21st, Hothir, his sons and his brothers 12. The 22nd, Gidalti, his sons and his brothers 12. The 23rd, Mahaziath, his sons and his brothers 12. The 24th, Rometi Ezar, his sons and his brothers 12. Yeah, so I think I should get cymbals and harps and lyres, and that might make some of this genealogy a little bit more fun, because this is a lot of just contextual information. They cast lots for their duties, the small as well as the great, the teacher with the students. Came forth from Joseph, and 288 people. And it's just so like because I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, well, 14 sons and 3 daughters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So who is the unnamed one? I haven't played that game. Yisrael? Yisarela? That's a pretty obvious name to not have been named. And so where'd this guy come from? Because we've got 23. His sons and his brothers, 12. And all his brothers This is confusing. If there's any experts on this genealogy, put them down below. My whole thing with all these 12s is that I know the Father likes in 12s. There's 12 tribes of Israel. There was 12 apostles. We get 144,000 saved, and there is 144,000 of the choice elect, which people make a big deal out of, and they're like, oh, you think you're going to be that? Let's start with this point because I see it before me. Revelation 4:1, and after this I looked and saw a door having been opened in the heaven, and the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet speaking with me, saying, come up here, and I shall show you what has to take place after this. And immediately I came to be in the heaven. Immediately I came to be in the Spirit, and saw a throne set in the heaven, and one sat on the throne, and he who sat there was like a jasper and a ruby stone in appearance, and there was a rainbow around the throne, like an emerald in appearance. And around the throne were 24 thrones, and on the thrones I saw 24 elders sitting, dressed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. So, obviously, we know those correlations. 12 apostles, 12 sons of Israel, 24 elders now. And then, let's see. I do believe that it is... Yeah, here we go. Revelation chapter 7, let's start at verse 1. And after this I saw 4 messengers standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another messenger coming up from the rising of the sun, holding the seal of the living Elohim, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 messengers to whom it was given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, do not harm the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our Elohim upon their foreheads. These are the sealed servants before the mark of the beast. And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 sealed out of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Yehuda, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Reuben, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Gad, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Asher, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Shimon, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Levi, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Issachar, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Joseph, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000 were sealed. After this I looked and saw a great crowd which no one was able to count, out of all the nations and the tribes and the peoples and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, dressed in white robes and palm branches in their hands, and crying out with a loud voice, saying, deliverance belongs to our Elohim who sits on the throne and to the Lamb. So these are the tribes were scattered to the nations, and then the word goes out to Gentiles. 12,000 of each tribe, because the fathers kept track. Elohim has kept track of these people, and 12,000 of each will come to be sealed and protected. Literally protected. Like, after this I looked and saw a great crowd which no one was able to count, out of all the nations and tribes and peoples and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, dressed in white robes and palm branches in their hands. Okay, so let's go back to this, because obviously the father likes 12s. And there's a lot going on here and a lot of repetition, and again, this is something that we'll come back to at some point in the days. Chapter 26, for the divisions of the gatekeepers of the Korites, Meshelemiyahu, son of Koreh, of the sons of Asaph, and the sons of Meshemayahu, Zachariahu, the firstborn, Yediael, the second, Zebediahu, the third, Yethaniel, the fourth, Elam, the fifth, Yehohanan, the sixth, Elioenai, the seventh, and the sons of Obed-Edom, Shemaiah, the firstborn, Yehozabad, the second, Yoah, the third, Sakar, the fourth, Nathaniel, the fifth, Amiel, the sixth, Yissachar, the seventh, Peullithai, the eighth, for Elohim blessed him. Also to Shemaiah, his son were sons born who ruled their father's house, because they were able mighty men. The sons of Shemaiah, Othni, and Raphael, and Obed, Elzabad, whose brother Elihu, and Semekyahu were able men. All these were the sons of Obed-Edom, they and their sons and their brothers, able men with strength for the work, 62 of Obed-Edom. And Meshelemyahu had sons and brothers, 18 able men. Also, Hosa of the children of Merari had sons. Shimri the head, although he was not the firstborn, his father made him the head. Hilkiyahu the second, Tabelyahu the third, Zechariahu the fourth. All the sons and brothers of Hosa were 13. These divisions of the gatekeepers among the chief men had duties like their brothers to serve in the house of Yahuwah, and they cast lots for each gate, the small as well as the great, according to their father's house. And the lot to the east fell to Shemaiah. Then they cast lots for his son Zachariahu, a wise counselor. And his lot came out to the north, to Obed-Edom to the south, and to his sons the storehouse, to Shuppim and Hosa to the west, with the Sheleketh gate on the ascending highway, guard corresponding with guard. On the east were 6 Levites, on the north 4 each day, on the south 4 each day, and for the storehouse 2 by 2. As for the parbar on the west, there were 4 on the highway, and 2 at the parbar. These were the divisions of the gatekeepers among the sons of Korah and among the sons of Merari. And the Levites, Ahijah was over the treasuries of the house of Elohim, over the treasuries of the set-apart gifts. The sons of Ladan, the sons of the Gershonites of Ladan, heads of their fathers' houses of Ladan, the Gershonite. Yahieli, the sons of Yahieli, Zetham, and Yoel, his brother, were over the treasuries of the house of Yahuwah. Of the Amramites, the Yitsharites, the Hebronites, and Uzielites, even Shebuel, son of Gershom, son of Moshe, was overseer of the treasuries. And his brothers by Eleazar were Rehabiahu, his son, and Yeshiyahu, his son, and Joram, his son, and Zikri, his son, and Shalomith, his son. This Shalomith and his brothers were over all the treasuries of the set-apart gifts which sovereign David and the heads of fathers' houses, the commanders over thousands and hundreds, and commanders of the army had set apart. Some of the booty won in battles they set apart to maintain the house of Yahuwah, and all that Shemuel the seer, and Shaul son of Kish, and Abner son of Ner, and Joab son of Seruiah had set apart. All who were setting apart were under the hand of Shalomith and his brothers. Of the Yisharites, Canaan and his sons were for the outward duties as officials and judges over Israel. Of the Hebronites, Hashabyahu and his brothers, 1,700 able men, had the oversight of Israel beyond the Jordan westward, for all the work of Yahweh and in the service of the sovereign. Of the Hebronites, Yeriah was head of the Hebronites according to his genealogy of the fathers. In the 40th year of the reign of David they were sought, and there were found among them able men at Yazer of Gilad. And his brothers were 2,700 able men, heads of fathers' houses, whom sovereign David made officials over the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh in all matters of Elohim and matters of the sovereign. Woo! A lot of logistics in Chronicles. This is an interesting book. Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this. This is just like people being appointed, and it's like cool, but this is, more historical record. Verse 26, this Shalomith and his brothers were over all the treasuries of the set-apart gifts which sovereign David and the heads of fathers' houses, the commanders over thousands and hundreds, and the commanders of the army had set apart. Okay. So Shalomith and his brothers were over all the treasuries. David, the heads, and the commanders set apart. And some of the booty won in battles they set apart to maintain the house of Yahuwah. He should have gotten a full 10%. Which I'm sure he did, but it doesn't specify that. Chapter 27. And the children of Israel, according to their number, the heads of fathers' houses, and the commanders of thousands and hundreds and their officers, served the sovereign in all matters of the division, which came in and went out new moon by new moon throughout all the new moons of the year, each division having 24,000. Over the first division for the first new moon was Yeshobam, son of Zabdiel, and in his divisions were 24,000. Of the sons of Peretz, and the chief of the of all the commanders of the armies for the first new moon, and over the divisions of the second new moon was Dodai and Ahoite, and of the division of his division, Mikloth was the leader, and in his division were 24,000. The third commander of the army for the third new moon was Benayahu, son of Yehoiada, the priest, who was chief, and in his division were 24,000. This was the Benayahu who was mighty among the 30, and was over the 30, and in his division was Amizabad, his son. The fourth, for the fourth new moon, was Asael, the brother of Joab, and Zebadiah, his son, after him, and in his division were 24,000. The fifth, for the fifth new moon, was Shemhuth, the Yizrahite, and in his division were 24,000. The sixth, for the sixth new moon, was Ira, son of Ikesh, the Tekoite, and in his division were 24,000. The seventh, for the seventh new moon, was Haletz, the Pelonite, of the children of Ephraim, and in his division were 24,000. The eighth, for the eighth new moon, was Sibbecai, the Hushathite, of the Zarites, and in his division were 24,000. The ninth, for the ninth new moon, was Abiezer, the Anthothites, of the Binyamites, and in his division were 24,000. The 10th, for the 10th new moon, was Maharai, the Netophathite, of the Zarites, and in his division were 24,000. The 11th, for the 11th new moon, was Benaiah, the Pirathonite of the children of Ephraim, and in his division were 24,000. The 12th, for the 12th new moon, was Heldai, the Netophathite of Othniel, and in his division were 24,000. And over the tribes of Israel, the chief officer over Reuben, Eleazar, son of Zikri, over Shimon, Shephethayahu, son of Ma'akah, Lewi, Hashabiah, son of Kemuel, over Aaron, Sadak, Yehuda, Eliyahu, one of David's brothers, Elihu, one of David's brothers, Yissachar, Omri, son of Mikael, Zebulun, Yishmayahu, son of Obed-Yahu, Naphtali, Yeremoth, son of Azriel. The children of Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Azaziahu, the half-tribe of Manasseh, Yoel, son of Pedayahu, the half-tribe of Manasseh, in Galad, Edo, son of Zachariahu, Benjamin, Yaaziel, son of Abner, Dan, Azarel, son of Yeraham. These were the rulers of the tribes of Israel. But David did not take the number of those 20 years old and under, because Yahweh had said he would increase Israel like the stars of the heavens. Joab, son of Seruiah, began a census, but he did not finish. For wrath came upon Israel because of this census, nor was the number recorded in the account of the annals of sovereign David. And Asmaweth, son of Adiel, was over the sovereign's treasuries, and Jehonathan, son of Uzziahu, was over the storehouses in the field, and in the cities, and in the villages, and in the watchtowers. And Ezri, son of Caleb, was over those who did the work of the field for tilling the ground. And Shimi, the Ramathite, was over the vineyards. And Zabdi, the Shifmite, was over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars. And Baal-Hanan, the Gederite, was over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the low country. And Joash was over the oil stores. And Shatrai, the Sharonite, was over the herds that fed in Sharon. And Shaphat, son of Adlai, was over the herds that were in the valleys. And Obil, the Ishmaelite, was over the camels. And Yedayahu, the Meronothite, was over the donkeys. And Yaziz, the Hagarite, was over the flocks. All of these were the heads over the property of sovereign David. Also, Jehonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a wise man and a scribe. And Yahiel, son of Hakmoni, was with the sovereign's sons. And Ahithophel was the sovereign's counselor, and Hushai the Archite was the sovereign's companion. After Ahithophel was Jehoiada, son of Benaiah, then Abiathar, and the chief of the sovereign's army was Joab. Okay, so we are only going to 27 today, and we finally got a reason for all of this. At least it's starting to become clear to me. All of these pages of genealogy. That's literally what this is. It's the pages of genealogy. This is, where does it say it here? These were the rulers of the tribes of Israel. So, and as we went along, it was these were the commanders. These divisions of the gatekeepers among chief men. made officials. And what we're seeing now is that we did not take the number of those 20 years old and under because Yahuwah had said he would increase Israel like the stars of the heavens. Don't even bother counting. And Yah does that to me a lot. Like, don't check my work type deal. And boy, do not check his work. Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like a census, but an incomplete census, because wrath came upon Israel because of this census, and nor was the number recorded in the account of the Annals of Sovereign David. So, yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention was that you could, and we'll go more into this as we go through the book, but there's arguments to be made about I mean, obviously this book is like the book for life. Not only was it made by the creator of the universe for the creations, but it has everything from how to make soap to how to treat your neighbor to how to treat your wife to how to slaughter an animal to how to grow seeds to how to, I'm sure that it has how to, like, clean water, like how to make sure your water's clean. It shows you how to poop. Don't poop near your water, you know. So yeah, this book has everything, and included in that everything is war. So we get divisional commanders in this chapter as well, and it just kind of popped into my mind that there's a lot of wartime antics in this book, and also business logistics, business operations, as far as like Ezri and son of Caleb was over those who did the work of the field for tilling the ground, and Shemi the Ramathite was over the vineyards, and Zabdi the Shimathite was over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars, you know. So it's like how to break up your organization in order that you have success, and you know, you don't overload anybody, and you've properly divided the responsibilities. And I want to say like equally, but like as far as the importance of, you know, like you don't have the same person, you don't have one person growing the grapes, processing the wine, and then storing the wine and checking on the storage of the wine. Like it just becomes, it's very like, it's a lot for one person to do, and they sounds like they're all the same, but they're not all the same, and you're probably not storing the wine at the field because that just doesn't make sense. So little things like that you gotta pick up as you go along, and you'd be surprised where you'd find what you need out of this word.